And good morning, everybody. You are looking live at the Chiller North Ice Arena, Day 3 of the 2018 ACHA Division III National Tournament. And today it's kind of what we like to call a game for pride, a game to see which team will have the more enjoyable ride home here from the Nationals. It's been a great experience for both teams. I know they're looking forward to this game. And I know, talking with both coaches, yeah, they're disappointed, Marcus, but they want to end on a high note. Marcus Grosnick, along with yours truly, Lou Gamlin, here for Day 3, as I mentioned, and we've got a 3 versus 4 seed, if you will, in Georgia Tech taking on George Mason. Marcus, give me your early thoughts on what you expect out of today's game.
Well, I expect George Mason to come out with a little bit of fire after the way things ended yesterday. Overtime loss to Air Force on a shorthanded goal very late in that overtime to give Air Force the opportunity to play CMU to win the pool today. So I would expect George Mason to come out. We talked to head coach Mike Minitza earlier today, and he talked about the team played really well, just have not been able to convert some opportunities to get the win. For Georgia Tech, it's a team that had to go through the regionals just like George Mason did. Ran into some buzzsaw teams like Air Force and and Central Michigan. So they want to come out. They want to get the win. They want to go back down south with some pride, with some confidence going into next season, knowing that they got to win at Nationals and are going to be able to build off that for next season.
And the thing is, with Georgia Tech especially, they're a very young team. They hope to gain from this and improve for next year, as you mentioned. And I talked with Bob Cernich a little bit before the game, the head coach of Georgia Tech, and he said, yeah, you can tell he's disappointed. They wanted to do better. But it's like he said to me, it's a learning process. They're going to grow from this, and but I will say this, talking with both teams, if it's a moral victory, both of them, very classy teams, and they've been very easy to talk with, and they really are enjoying the week here at Columbus.
Definitely, and I think that's what it's been all about. And we've been talking to the commissioner of D3, Dave Kurtz, throughout the entire week, and how much this tournament has grown from the first year Columbus last year to this year in Columbus, and now over the next couple of years going down to Dallas, Texas for the national championships. Everything has just grown. The experience has been unbelievable. The city of Columbus has been great, and this is an incredible experience for these college athletes.
And the guys from Tech, they also had a chance to get out in the community here and work with some of the younger kids in the hockey programs, youth programs, and that's going to be an experience that they take with them too when they go back, and seeing the younger people really opening up to them and looking up to them. And so again, can't say enough about the sportsmanship of both teams too.
Starting lineups there, Lou, for the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Up front, it's going to be Zach Govin, Tom Petrick, and Michael Leon. And on the back end, Matthew Jones, Joey Schultz, and in goal is Zach Cernich. Zach's
had a good year for them. They started out a little slow, Georgia Tech did, first half of the year. Right around 12th in the rankings. Kind of reminds me a lot of South Florida last year. And then towards the end of the year, they broke into the top 10. They got to the 8th seed. And then, they just played very well. They made it through regionals. A couple, on paper they're upsets, but they came in with a lot of momentum, and so they played really well this year. Right now we're going to take a break and listen to the national anthem, and then Marcus will get us the starting lineups for George Mason. All right, there, another fine rendition of the national anthem. Marcus, if you would, why don't you give us the starting lineup for George Mason?
All right, starting up front, Tarek Zagati on the right wing, left wing, Alex Gross. Centering that opening line is Trevor Mack. On right defense, Nicholas Baker. Sean Ryan from Hatboro, Pennsylvania will be on left defense. And Hernat will get the start in goal, the sophomore from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Okay, very good. One of the players, obviously, Marcus, to watch out for from George Mason is Cameron Smith, the leading goal scorer in the nation this year. 72 goals in 28 games, so he's definitely a high flyer. I'm going to look for him to be one of the keys to the game, kind of like a Zach Massa type of player. They key on him. If they can neutralize him, I think, Marcus, then Georgia Tech will have a chance in this one.
Yeah, I think so, too, and they have a lot of firepower. Both of these teams, too. George Mason does not have quit in them. They played some pretty good games in the first couple days here of pool play. Georgia Tech, both teams are going to start their backup goaltenders in Connor Hernat, and the goaltender for Georgia Tech is going to be Zach Cernich.
Georgia Tech will be in their road dark jerseys with the yellow and blue trim, kind of Notre Dame colors, if you will. Don't let them hear that I said that. George Mason in their home white yellow jerseys with the green and white trim going from left to right on your computer screen. Mason gets control of the puck. They dump it down in behind the Georgia Tech zone. Going after it quickly was Drew Wallace for Georgia Tech, and now Mason comes up with it. They've got it at the point with a shot. Slides wide of the goal. Ryan goes after it over in the corner for Mason as they rattle it around the boards, and they play over on the corner. Trying to go after it was Alex Chen for Georgia Tech, as they will play it in behind the goal. There's a shot from the blue line, whistling up over the top of the goal by Nicholas Baker. They played up at the point again. Ryan with a shot, kicked away before it goes over to the side. Playing it over in the corner is Alex Gross. Gross has it. He's bounced off the puck over there by Matthew Jones. They played at the right face-off circle with a shot. That's kicked away, and here comes Tech. Tech comes up over the line. They come into the neutral zone. Risley avoids a check, but he's met right at the blue line by one of the defenders for George Mason. Just about 1 minute gone in this opening period. We're scoreless.
Yeah, good pressure by the Patriots of George Mason, just holding pucks in at the left point. Baker and Nicholas both having good opportunities to create some chances off the back end.
Lechner dumps it in behind the Georgia Tech goal. Played back there by Cernich. He'll hand it off to one of his defenders, now played there at the point by Brandon Holt. He dumps it down into the Mason zone, where it's going to be played by Lechner. Lechner now dumps it out to center ice, and it's deflected into the Georgia Tech zone and brought right back down in to the Patriot zone, and we'll get our first icing call of the day. 1.5 minutes gone in this opening period on day 3. We're scoreless.
Yeah, one thing I'm impressed about with George Mason is the size on the back end. Nicholas Baker and Ryan, two really good tall defensemen that have been able to hold pucks in at the left point. That's what created some good pressure for George Mason in the first minute and a half.
Face-off controlled by Mason. There's a shot taken by Lechner that whistles wide of the goal. Rebound goes in behind the goal, played by Diner. Diner back out to the point with a shot. Slid away by Cernich over in the corner. Mason still applying some pressure. Georgia Tech trying to get it out of the zone, but Diner will play it in the neutral zone and skate back into his own end. He now tips it back over into the Georgia Tech zone, where Harnois will play it. They played out to center ice, and it's going to roll back down into the Mason zone. Icing will be the call. 17:58 to go in this opening period. We're scoreless, George Mason and Georgia Tech.
Key for Georgia Tech here early on in the game. They have to find a way to win some of those board battles down low. George Mason has been beating them to some loose pucks on the end boards on either side. Try to get the puck out and set up your offense.
Face-off won by Georgia Tech. They dump it back down into the Patriot zone, and again, we're going to get another icing call, and we're going to get that face-off coming back down into the Georgia Tech end. A little confusion maybe on that one.
I think that might have gotten tipped by a Tech player before it got to the red line. Let's see if they do a neutralized zone or center ice face-off, and they are. I think it's the right call, as that one did get tipped in by Tech.
Good call, Marcus. Indeed, that's what they're going to do. They're going to bring it out to center ice. Taking the face-off will be D'Agostino for George Mason, and he'll go up against Zan Govin for Zach Govan rather, for Georgia Tech, and the Yellow Jackets won the faceoff, but then it got tipped back down into the Yellow Jacket zone. They played in behind the net to the Yellow Jackets. Govan will try to clear the puck. It's good play to be held in by Letzel. He throws one towards the net that's deflected wide. It rolls around the zone over the right side, and good play by Mason to keep it in the zone. Now it's out to center ice. Playing it there is Nicholas Baker. He rolls it in behind the goal as the Patriots make a couple of changes. Now here comes Tech. They played out of the neutral zone, and it's going to be played just at the doorstep in the zone. Now here comes Mason up over the line with a play, but a good back check by Georgia Tech to get it out of the zone. And it's still another shot deflected right in front of the goal. Mason again applying the pressure. Under 3 minutes gone in this opening period, still scoreless. Mason keeping the play deep in the Georgia Tech end. They chop away at it in behind the goal. Playing it back there is Jackson Harnois for Mason, as he's got it over on the left face-off circle on top to Trevor Mack. He throws one that's deflected, gets it back and shoots another one. Up and deflected into the safety netting. 16:37 to go. Opening period. We still have a scoreless tie.
Mack and Zagatti both having good opportunities from in below the goal line. Just being able to win the puck free. Georgia Tech scrambling just a little bit in their own zone here. About 3.5 gone by.
Mason wins the faceoff, but then Georgia Tech comes up with it. Going after it is Brzezowski. He plays it up over the line. It's going to be deflected in the neutral zone area, where it's dumped back into the Patriot zone and then deflected back at center ice. With it now coming up, one-handing it over the line is Zagad. Zagad takes it over in the corner, tries to center one, but it's deflected again out of play to keep it 16:15 left in this opening period. We have no score, the Patriots and the Yellow Jackets.
A couple big games coming up, or a big game coming up later on today. Central Michigan and Air Force, winner take all for that pool, as we've had a 3 and 2 4 seeds already clinch after day 2 into the semifinals.
And we almost had an opportunity for Mason. They gave up a shorthanded goal in overtime, which was kind of had a little bit of controversy to it. According to some people, they said it was kicked in, but then still a win is a win for Air Force, and they were able to advance to play Central in that winner-take-all game for the spot in the semifinal. Good hip check that time by Harnois, and I believe we're going to get an offside call, and the face-off will come out of the zone.
Actually, I think we're going to get a kneeing call here on George Mason. I believe that's what the referee called. It's going to be on number 4, Jackson Harnois.
Okay, so that'll bring the face-off deep in the Mason end. Thanks, Marcus, for that. 15:45 to go, opening period. First power play of the night will go to the Yellow Jackets. They win the face-off cleanly. Out at the point with it is Muller. Muller plays it over to the right side to Leon. Leon plays it over in the corner. Now he gets it back on the left face-off circle. Little give and go to the right side, and a good clear on defense on the penalty kill by the Patriots, and the Bulldogs will regroup, or the Yellow Jackets rather will regroup.
Don't let them say that, Lou.
Better not say that again this game.
First it was Aquinas, now it's the Bulldogs.
Oh boy, no kidding. Back in behind the goal, Muller will regroup for the Yellow Jackets as he takes control of the puck deep in his own end. 1:24 left in the power play. 15 minutes to go in this opening period. We're scoreless. They go at it down into the corner. Leon will take it in behind the goal on the power play to try to set it up for the Yellow Jackets. Oh, there's one loose right out in front. They dig at it over in the corner. Going after again is Leon. He skates it around to the blue line. There's a one-timer kicked away before it got to the goal. That one taken by Jones. Played over in the corner now again. Leon will skate it around in behind the net. Finally, there's another centering play, but it's cleared but not out. Held in by Leon at the point. Skates across ice over to Jones. Jones has it on the left face-off circle. They play it over in the corner. Centering play to the slot. Here's an opportunity possibly for a breakaway, but the Yellow Jacket, or the Patriots rather, will make the full-scale change along with the Yellow Jackets as they look with 30 seconds left to try to get that power play going.
Yeah, Dewhurst looked like he was going to try to split the defense for that breakaway opportunity, but thought better of it to just get the change to get some fresh legs on the ice.
Quickly up over the line. Here come the Yellow Jackets down the right side. A centering play deflected right at the last minute. Kicked away as well by Hurtnet, and they're going to wing it all the way down into the Yellow Jacket end with 9 seconds left in the power play. Here come the Yellow Jackets. One last rush up over the line with it is Risley. Risley tries to go to the left face-off circle. His play's deflected. Here come Mason. They got an opportunity maybe for a breakaway. Here comes Smith up over the line with a shot, and he scores! Cameron Smith, the nation's leading goal scorer, breaks the ice for the Patriots, and we've got a 1-0 lead. Time of the goal, 6 minutes and 23 seconds.
Just as the penalty expires, it was a good feed by Trevor Mack from their own zone, and he finds Cameron Smith, who goes forehand, backhand. They got Cernich down just a little bit, and the George Mason Patriots get the first lead of the day.
So there's no doubt why he is the nation's leading goal scorer. 72 on the regular season, and he made it look fairly easy on that one. He was able to geek Cernich and going up top shelf, and it's 1-0 in favor of the Patriots. There's one thrown over left side, right out in front. Almost tipped in by Lubin, but here comes Mason, but they can't get it out of the zone. And we're going to get one played with a high stick, and that will take the face-off just outside the blue line of George Mason. 1-0, Patriots, 13:18 to go here in this opening period.
Smith from Lechner and Trevor Mack. Mack was the one that got the pass up through the middle. George Mason had a good penalty kill there. Good big tall defensemen were getting in some shooting lanes. Georgia Tech also had some good opportunities. Just have to find a way to get to the puck to the front of the net.
Almost another opportunity for the Patriots, but now an odd man rush for the Yellow Jackets. Tipped up over the top of the goal as Joey Schultz was coming in. Now it's played to the right side. And now an outlet pass for the Patriots out to center ice, and they're going to make a few changes on the fly as well. We've got 12:45 to go in this opening period. 1-0 in favor of George Mason. Coming in on goal with an opportunity. That time was Tom Petrick. Loose puck over on the left face-off circle. Now it's played out to center ice, and the Yellow Jackets will have it there. They play it now in the neutral zone and backtrack in their own zone as they try to get another rush going. This one's stolen away by Baker. He dumps it in the corner as we'll get a couple of changes for the Patriots as the Yellow Jackets now will play it out to center ice. 2-on-2 the other way. Up over the line, Gavin comes up. He puts the brakes on, dumps it in around the corner, in behind the goal. They have it, and now it's going to be played out at the blue line and held in by Gavin at the blue line over on the right side. They play it over in the right face-off circle. Centering pass deflected. There's one up over the top of the goal, deflected over in the corner. They dig away at it on the left face-off circle. Here comes another centering pass. Potential breakaway, a little too strong for Gross. He backtracks with it, held in at the blue line. Played over there by Lechner. Lechner has it over on the left side. He's bounced off the puck, but the Patriots still come up with the play. They have it over on the left face-off circle. Here comes Lechner going after it, but a good defensive play, deflected out of bounds by Matthew Jones. 11.5 minutes to go. Opening period, 1-0 in favor of the Patriots.
Cernich did a good job recognizing that Gross was coming in hard, that he had to make the play. Backhanded up the half wall, and then scrambled back in his net to make the save. Gross, a very tall forward, really having some good speed up through the middle.
There's a play in the neutral zone. Good play by George Mason on the defensive side that time. D'Agostino dumps it in around the corner and in behind the Yellow Jackets goal, but now Tech comes up with it. They're going to skate it out of their own zone, flip it off the boards. Tip now down into the Patriots zone where they will come up with the puck, and it's now played out to center ice. Tipped by D'Agostino. He comes in with a little bit of speed, brings it over the line. Held in at the point by Letzel. Letzel will play it over in the corner. They tip it at the blue line with a shot taken by Baker, gloved off by Cernich. 10:55 to go here in this opening period. 1-0 Patriot lead here on the ACHA National Broadcast Network.
Cernich has been a busy man here in the first 9:05 of the period. period, making some big saves and coming out to negate a couple opportunities. I really don't think you could fault him on the goal for George Mason. Just got down a little bit too early, and they are able to roof it, was Cameron Smith.
Helfelt will take the face-off going up against Holt, but it was won by the Yellow Jackets, and it's deflected back into play, and the face-off will stay down deep in the Georgia Tech zone.
So far, another clean period for both teams, just the one penalty, as George Mason went 0 for 1, scoring right after that, went full strength. But I really like the pace, both teams playing with a lot of speed and having some good opportunities.
Diner got the face-off and went for the one-timer, but he whiffed right at the last second. Baker holds it in at the blue line, tries to feed Diner over on the right side, played by Miller in behind the goal. He gets deflected off the puck. Diner comes up with it over on the right face-off circle. Here comes Smith. Smith skates it around the left side, brings it up on top, tries to make a move. Oh, almost a potential giveaway, but instead it's thrown in the corner. There's an odd-angled shot. Rebound! And it's going to be held on to by Zach Cernich, and he'll glove it wisely with 10:16 to go in this opening period. 1-0 George Mason.
Yeah, Cernich had to be careful there. Baker with the original shot, and then Trevor Mack came in looking for a rebound as he's going to stay out on the ice and take the opening face-off here to the left of Cernich.
10:16 left, as we said, in this opening period. Cernich wins the face-off, but Georgia Tech comes up with it, and they're going to throw it all the way around the zone, and it looks like we are indeed going to get an icing call. 10:10 left in this opening period, as Coach Bob Cernich's Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets will bring the face-off back down in their end.
I'd like to see the Tech Yellow Jackets win a few more face-offs in their defensive zone to try to get themselves set up, and
there you
ask
go.
And you shall receive.
That's right. Nostradamus here to my right this morning.
I'm telling you, man, that crystal ball's been really good all week long.
Nick Marquardt tries to make a play on it. It's still played over there in the corner. They chop away at it. Here comes Mason. Little give-and-go opportunity, but Georgia Tech was right there for the steal. Nifty move that time by Zagade for George Mason to try to set it up. Oh, a collision right there in the neutral zone, and we're going to get a whistle, and I believe we're going to get a penalty call.
Yep.
Coming up, a trip it looks like, coming up on Georgia Tech. That will be on Govin, so this will be the second power play of the night for the for the Patriots, and we're going to get our first media timeout. Cameron Miller, the opening goal here today, the only goal so far, 1-0 George Mason. They'll be back on the power play when we come back here on the ACHA Division III National Broadcast Network. Right in the center of the emblem there, right below the away sign. Yep. Coming.
He's coming for that green jacket.
Sure is. And welcome back after the media timeout. George Mason on top, 1-0, going for their second power play opportunity of the day as they win the faceoff. It's out on top. With it on the corner was Baker. He's got Smith up on the right side looking to snipe. They've got it over on the left faceoff circle in behind the net. Playing it right there behind the goal. They're looking at it as Mack trying to direct traffic with a shot deflected. Oh, and hung on to by Cernich. A good play there. Sean Ryan right at the doorstep for the Patriots, as Georgia Tech was able to hold on to that puck, trailing 1-0. 1:43 left in the power play, 9:27 to go in this opening period.
Yeah, Mack did a good job off the face-off, tried to just sauce that one over to Ryan. It was a perfect pass right on the stick, and Cernich in the butterfly, closing up to 5-hole to make the save.
Puck played to the blue line. line. Smith tried to hold it in, but instead they have to backtrack with it to get onside on the power play. They dump it into the Georgia Tech zone. It's played around the boards, and now coming up with it is Ryan. He dumps it back in the corner. Mack will roll it all the way over to the left side. Baker holds it in at the blue line, plays it over on the left side. Cross ice pass to Miller. Miller throws one in traffic, and he scores! I think it's going to be tipped in on the power play, but indeed, it's a power play goal, and it's now George Mason on top. 2-0, time of the goal, 11 minutes exactly.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was going to be Mack or Smith. Mack was the one in front of the net, and Smith was the one that took the shot. So let's see who they give the goal to, but it was nonetheless very good traffic out in front of the net. Cernich was screened, and that one just found the opening and in the back of the twine with 11 minutes gone by here in the first period.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot that he could do as Smith was kind of just menacing around the top. He just sniped one towards the goal, and it was tipped in. It is going to be Sean Ryan getting credit for the goal. There's one coming in on goal. That goes over to the right side. So we got a 2-0 lead for the Patriots. Here come the Yellow Jackets. Nifty play out the boards. Risley tries to go in on goal. He loses control of the puck over in the left corner. Coming up with it over there is Lechner for George Mason. Held in though at the blue line by Georgia Tech as they chop away at it right there. Getting hauled down that time was Brzezowski, no call. They play it over in the corner. Mason comes up with it at the left face-off circle. There's a shot, and they score! Johnny on the spot that time. The Yellow Jackets cut that lead in half. Carl Risley, I believe, gets the rebound, and he got it past Connor Hurtnett, and just like that, Marcus, we've got a 2-1 George Mason lead.
Yeah, just a good play. It all started with Brzezowski, right, falling to the ice, able to keep the puck alive, got it to the left wing board, and then Rigsby just right on the doorstep. It just had to tap it in, and it's a 2-1 George Mason lead.
Love the resolve by the Yellow Jackets. They didn't get down and hang their heads after that second goal. They went right down there and cut the lead in half. With the puck now at the blue line, the Yellow Jackets with a little bit of pep in their step. Puck played on deep in the Mason zone. Cameron Smith now turns on the Jets as he brings it up over the line down the left side. Comes in on goal. One-handed with a centering pass. Baker comes up with it at the blue line. And a shot kicked away by Cernich. Played over in the corner. Held in, though, by the Patriots. With the puck right there as Rogers throws one towards the goal. Deflected wide. Diner comes up with the rebound. Plays it back in behind the goal to Helfeld. Helfeld, there's one right on in front and they score! Cameron Smith with his second goal of the afternoon. And just like that, another minute and a half, George Mason back on top by 2, 3-1.
Second goal of the day for Cameron Smith. A broken play down low. Smith finds the little soft area in behind the defense, in between the face-off dots, and just gets it right past that left pad of Cernich.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's surely got the Jets. He started that whole rush all the way down into the corner, and just like that, Mason's back up by 2. Georgia Tech brings it down into the George Mason zone. They go over the left side now, play it over on the left face-off circle. Here comes Mason. They come out of the zone. Quickly with the puck is Mack. Mack's trying to go coast to coast up over the line. Nifty move to come in, and now he tries a centering play, goes back to the point. Ryan with a centering play off the goalpost. Oh my goodness. Zagade had a wide open net. There's a wraparound try. Oh, and the goalpost saved that one, and it kept it a 3-1 lead. Mason has it deep in the Georgia Tech zone. They've got them a little bit on their heels now. They come in. Oh, there's going to be one. They try to stuff away at it, and Cernich will hang on. But, boy, I'll tell you, the Patriots now coming with both barrels in the latter stages of this first period.
Yeah, after they got down, after the lead was cut to 1, Smith said, nope, we're going to keep that lead at 2. And I just think the bigger size of George Mason right now is really causing a little bit of trouble for Georgia Tech.
Yep, catching them on their heels a little bit. That was a nifty move in behind the goals. The gate just couldn't capitalize on it. Well, there's a potential shot that was whiffed on. That one rolls through the goal crease. Going after it is the gate over in the corner. He rolls it around in behind the goal. They play it over on the right side. Risley has it. Held in, though, by the Patriots. It's loose over on the left side. Centering play deflected over in the corner. Coming up with it, Brzezowski protect. He's bounced off the puck. It rolls in behind the goal. We're going to get a penalty call coming up, I believe, on George Mason. I'm not sure. Now we get some pushing and shoving going on after the whistle as they try to separate the two teams, as we're going to get a penalty coming up with 6 minutes and 11 seconds left in this opening period.
Yeah, Cernich didn't know that was a penalty on George Mason. He's trying to get himself to the net. It's going to be a penalty on Mac.
Well, this will be the first opportunity for the Yellow Jackets on the power play. Actually, we're going to get coincidental minors, I think. Yep. I saw the box open up for Georgia Tech. We'll wait and see. Maybe they inadvertently opened it. Although we've got two in the box for Mason, so it looks like we might get coincidental minors, but still have a power play. We'll let the referees sort it all out.
So Mac was the one with the original, and then Gross got tied up with a Georgia Tech player after the play. So I think this should be a 4-on-3 power play for 2 minutes here. I did not see who got in the box for Georgia Tech as they walked around from the bench. So 2 minutes on the clock is all that it's going to be. 2-minute power play for Georgia Tech. Let's see if they can cut that lead back to 1.
Looks like it's going to be a 5-on-4 situation, as we will indeed have a 2-minute penalty. The 2-minute minor is all they're going to put on the board. So here comes Georgia Tech with their opening power play. Cross-ice pass. It's going to be flipped right out of the blue line, now out of the zone, back into the neutral zone area for the Yellow Jackets. They come up with a puck up over the line. Brzezowski has it. He drops it up with a shot. Deflected before it got to the goal. Gets the rebound. It's loose at the doorstep. Oh, they try to cover it up in front of the goal, and finally they do, as there was some commotion in front of the goal. Connor Herdnett, he lost sight of the puck when it was loose in the crease, and the face-off will stay deep in the George Mason zone. 5:48 to go here in this first period. 3-1 in favor of the Patriots.
So the original call was an interference on Mac and then roughing after the play, so that's why it will stay just a 5-on-4 for Tech.
Play loose over in the corner. They bring it back out on top with the puck. Jones tries to make a play on it. There's an odd-angled shot deflected wide, and it's going to roll all the way down into the neutral zone, and the Yellow Jackets will regroup with it. Brzezowski will take a nifty move to get over the zone. 1-on-4, though. Thought better about going towards the goal. Drops it over in the corner. Skating it over there is Polak. Polak tries to make a play on it. He's got it deep in the zone. Now he brings it out to the point. Cross-ice pass over to Jones. Jones throws one towards the net. It's deflected, and George Mason will just dump it down the other end as we're under a minute to go in the power play. 5:05 to go in this opening period. Tech now will throw it out of the zone as they try to make a play on it. Oh, a big check right in front of us at center ice, and Mason is able to dump the puck all the way down into the Yellow Jackets end with 35 seconds left in the power play. 4:45 to go here in this opening period. The Patriots, behind 2 goals from Cameron Smith, have a 3-1 lead. Quickly up over the line the other way. There's a play tipped away over in the left corner. They throw it towards the net. A centering play stolen away by the Patriots, and they just wing it down the length of the ice with 15 seconds left in the Georgia Tech power play. Directing traffic now, here come the Yellow Jackets in behind their own goal with the puck now over the line. Leon dumps it all the way into the George Mason zone, but it's picked up right there by the defenseman and deflected out of play, and we'll now have 5-on-5 hockey as the penalties have expired. 4:11 to go here in this opening period. We've got a 3-1 George Mason lead.
Yeah, D'Agostino was the one that had the hit on the near side on Tom Petrick that negated the rush up the ice. George Mason really using their size to their advantage to take guys off the puck.
Face-off will be to the left of Connor Hurtnett as the face-off is controlled by the Patriots momentarily. They dig away at it over on the right face-off circle. Now at the center ice, little give and go. Mack comes up over the line, 2-on-1. There's a play right out in front. Oh, and a nifty move, but there's a save off the goal post. Rebound, and he scores! Trevor Mack got the scraps, if you will. The first shot clanged off the crossbar. Mack was right there. Cernich was out of position, maybe a little bit. He was down to make the save, and it just was a little too far away for him to grab, and we've now got a 4-1 lead for George Mason. Mack gets credit for the goal at 16:07.
Yeah. Gross, Zagate, all taking shots as Cernich was down, and Mack, like you said, just picking up the loose change in front of the net.
Off the face-off, here comes Georgia Tech. They've got an opportunity. There's one right on in front. Oh, they tried to tip it into the goal as Risley was going towards the goal on a play from Bzowski, and that'll keep the face-off deep in the George Mason end as it was tipped out of play. 4-1 in favor of the Patriots of George Mason here in the latter stages of this opening period. Face-off will be to the right of Hertfeld. Taking the face-off for the Patriots will be Helfeld, and it's going to be won by the Patriots, and they try to get it out of the zone. They can't. Finally, they're able to come up with the possession again. A lead pass that comes up over the line. Here comes Helfeld up over the line. He goes over the left side. He skates it in behind the goal, makes an about face, playing it over on the left side. Now it's deflected and picked up by Georgia Tech. They play it over the line. Going after the puck was Brzozowski. He plays it at the blue line, deflected up over the left side, coming in with a centering pass, a little too strong. 3:10 to go in this opening period. 4-1 favor the Patriots. There's one at the doorstep, stolen away, and now here comes Cameron Smith looking for his third goal of the afternoon, and he's bounced off, but he makes a nifty move to go towards the goal with a shot. Oh, just wide of the goal. A little frustrated on that. He thought maybe he drew a penalty, but instead here comes Georgia Tech with a little bit of speed. Risley skates it up over center ice. He's bounced off the puck as the Yellow Jackets will make some changes on the fly. 2:40 to go in this opening period. 4-1 Patriots. Here's a steal coming in on goal. Patrick, here's a one-timer deflected up into the safety netting and out of play with 2.5 to go in this opening period. 4-1 Patriots.
Yeah, Patrick with a good job just taking the puck away along the near side boards, but a better play by Sean Ryan defensively to get back out in front of him and deflect that shot up and out of play.
Face-off will be deep in the Patriots zone to the right of Hurtnett, and they play it over in the corner. Coming up with that loose puck is Leon. Leon in behind the goal, hounded over there by Lechner. They dig away at it finally over on the right side. Oh, Hardwa was bounced off, or check that, Gavin was bounced off the puck, comes right back up with it and rolls it in behind the Mason goal. They try to clear the zone. There's a big collision over by the left face-off circle. Puck rolls out the center ice. Coming up with it in the center ice area is Gavin. Gavin will retreat with it. We come up with 2 minutes now left to go in this opening period. A 4-1 hockey game. Puck rolls in behind the George Mason zone. They roll it around to the right side and they center it. Here come the Patriots. 2-on-2 now. Some reinforcements for Georgia Tech. They come up with it over in the corner, bouncing it off the puck. And finally, Cernich will hang on as the puck rolled towards the goal. 1:43 to go here in this opening period. We've got a 4-1 hockey game. Patriots on top. Don't forget, coming up at the first intermission, Marcus Grosnick will have a chance to get a couple of words from the head coach of Georgia Tech, Bob Cernich, as we conclude the first period of day 3 here. There's a centering play deflected, and it hops over the stick of Baker. Trying to go after it was Holt to make a play on it. Georgia Tech looking for a goal for some momentum. Coming up over the line with a shot. Oh, rebound right out in front, but Tech couldn't come up with it. It's loose over in the corner. Skating around behind the goal is Holt. There's one thrown towards the net. Played by Lubin. Lubin tried to make a play on it now. 1:15 to go in the opening period. Yellow Jackets trying to get a little bit closer here at the end of the first period with a shot. That one deflected off the goalpost and now rolls all the way out to center ice. The Yellow Jackets come up with it at center ice, try to make another play on it, and it deflects right in front of the Yellow Jacket bench. Under a minute to go in this opening period. Good play by Mack to try to get possession of it, and he does as he backtracks in his own zone. Lead pass a little too strong for Gross. Here comes a giveaway. Come up over the line with a play. Oh, and it's right out in front. It's loose. And covering it up was Hurtnet. Coming in on goal was Brzezowski. Tried to make a play on it. They tried to get the rebound, but Hurtnet was able to gobble up the puck right at the line to stop the play with 43.1 seconds left in this 4-1 game in favor of George Mason. That's the kind of thing that the Yellow Jackets need to try to get back into this one. Maybe a breakaway goal or a break on their side to get that one past Hurtnet to get a little momentum before the end of the period. Off the face-off, Georgia Tech tried to throw it towards the zone. It was deflected. Now at the blue line, they got to get onside. Odd man rush possibility, but instead they dump it towards the corner, and George Mason will come up with it. Under 30 to go in this opening period, 4-1 Patriots. It's deflected and now played out to center ice, and coming up with it finally are the Yellow Jackets, but instead Cameron Smith. Smith tries to wheel and deal with it with 14 seconds left. Hands it off to Diner. 3-on-3 up over the line. Diner over the right side. Skates it in behind the goal. Down to 5 seconds left. Played out at the point. They try to throw it towards the goal. Miller with one last chance. It's deflected away. And the first period will come to an end. Well, George Mason, with the touting of being a high-scoring team led by the nation's leading scorer, Cameron Smith, 2 goals in that opening period as they have jumped out to a 4-1 lead over the Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech as we've got 20 minutes of play. Now we're going to take it down to the ice area with Marcus Grosnick with head coach Bob Cernich of Georgia Tech.
All right, we're here with head coach Bob Cernich of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Coach, not the way you guys really wanted to start the period. What are some changes you guys are going to make to look here in the second period?
Well, I'm not sure we can make a whole lot of changes. There's been a lot of hockey. We've got a lot of injuries going on. A lot of hockey in the last 36 hours for us. We obviously came from Georgia Tech with a limited roster, so all we're going to do is go talk to this hockey team. I don't believe it's a problem with our system or anything. I believe it's the intensity that we came out to this game with. Our boys, they look really hungry, and our boys look like they're sleepwalking through the first period.
Well, Coach, the week didn't go the way you planned, but what does it mean for your program to be able to make it to the national tournament and going forward over the next couple seasons?
Yeah, it's been an invaluable experience for the young guys. We've got 13 sophomores and below that actually after a 4-win season last year to this, it's been a miraculous season. And now these boys can truly see what you have to have, the depth you have to have, the commitment you have to have to your team in order to compete with the teams. Central Michigan, George Mason, Air Force. We've been outstanding hockey teams this whole weekend. So it's been invaluable to them and hopefully a recruiting tool to get us a bigger bench.
All right, Coach, good luck in the last 40 and good luck next season.
Thanks, sir.
All right, Lou, 4-1 George Mason after 20 minutes. Back up to you.
All right, thanks, Marcus. Again, let's go through the goal scoring real quick. George Mason started things off with Cameron Smith at 7:15, and then they got a power play goal from number 40, that of course being Sean Ryan, and then Georgia Tech got on the board 19 seconds later, a full-strength goal by number 12, Carl Risley, but then it was 11 seconds after that, Cameron Smith at 11:30 on an even-strength goal from Cameron, and Smith, as I mentioned, is second of the afternoon, and then finally at 16:07, Trevor Mack was able to put it past the pipes and past the goaltender Zach Cernich to make it 4-1, and that's where we stand after 20 minutes of play. Well, we'll be back in about 10 minutes with the start of this second period here from the Chiller Ice Arena. Our score 4-1 in favor of George Mason. You're watching the ACHA Division III National Tournament Hockey. Welcome back to the ACHA Division III National Tournament here on the Tournament Network with Marcus Grosnick, Lou Gamblin here. 20 minutes in the books, as I mentioned. George Mason jumped out to a big 4-1 game in Marcus. They showed why they've got that high-flying offense that they won the Delaware Valley Conference with earlier in the year. Cameron Smith living up to the billing with a couple of goals, but boy, they sure pressured Zach Cernich, the goalie for Georgia Tech. It could easily be 6 or 7-1 after one period.
Yeah, Cernich has had a lot of shots on goal today, specifically early on in that period. Smith has already got a couple goals tonight with 2, a power play goal. And it's 4-1 George Mason, and I think just their size a little bit. They've come out a little bit hungry, as you heard Bob Cernich say in the interview. His boys just look like they're a little bit tired, and George Mason was ready to go for today's game.
Well, you mentioned it too at the beginning of the show. They look a little bit bigger, but if you're Georgia Tech right now, hopefully they can capitalize on a couple of miscues and get that momentum back on their side. All it takes is one goal to turn things around. We've seen it more often than not, where when you're behind, if you can get that goal, that deficit cut to 2, there's an opportunity. With the puck now, George Mason comes up over the line with a shot. Long rebound, another one. And Cernich has got to be tall in net already. 20 seconds into this one, a couple of shots on goal. 4-1 in favor of George Mason.
Yeah, Dewhurst with a good shot off the rush, and then the rebound came to Tyler DiAgostino, who took a clapper from the left face-off circle, turned wide by Cernich, and face-off to the right of GT Cage.
DiAgostino in on the face-off, but a good defensive face-off win for Georgia Tech, and they roll it down into the Mason end. Not going to be far enough for icing. Chasing back after it was Baker. Also going after the puck was Georgia Tech. They come now over on the red line, or checked at the right face-off circle. They try to make a play on it over in the corner with the puck is Risley. There's one shot and they scored!
Risley setting up the goal out in front. I didn't see if it was Risley that got it.
It was a good give and go, though, wasn't it, Marcus?
It really, really was. Risley won the puck below the goal line. 12 in blue. Let's see who's the one that finished it. Just kind of got underneath the 5-hole of the goalie. Hurtnet.
Just like that, what we talked about at the top of the period. Let's see if they can build on that momentum to make it a 4-3 lead. Now it's 4-2 in favor of George Mason. Time of the goal, 43 seconds in the period. Here comes Tech right away in the zone. So Lincoln will get credit for the goal. It skates over now. George Mason with a little bit of pressure. 4-2 now in favor of George Mason as they skate the puck in behind the goal. They now play it back out, and it's going to be deflected out to center ice. So 1 minute into this one, Georgia Tech cuts that lead to 4-2.
And we saw yesterday with the Fairfield Arkansas game, no 2-goal lead is safe here in pool play. So let's see how George Mason reacts to giving up that early goal.
Lubin makes the play deep in the George Mason zone, and it's played now at the blue line. Here come the Patriots as they deflect it over into the Georgia Tech zone momentarily, but now here comes Polak over the line. Polak throws one right at Hurtnet, and he's got to make a play on it. It's deflected over in the right corner. They dig away at it in behind the goal. Now it rolls all the way over to the blue line. Cross ice pass deflected before it gets to back towards the goal. Played loose in the corner. Tech with a little bit of momentum, but here comes Smith. Smith goes in over the left side with a wicked shot, and it's going to be gloved off by Cernich. Boy, I'll tell you what, he sure has a quick one-time snapshot there.
Smith, with good speed through the middle of the ice, was looking to see if Helfeld would be able to go to that far side for a pass. Decided to take it, and like you mentioned, Lou, very good wrist shot, and Cernich had to hold tight to that right post.
And the puck now will be loose over on the left side. Here comes Tech with numbers 2-on-2 the other way. Quickly Govan up over the line on the right side with a shot. Deflected over behind the goal. They get the rebound, roll it all the way over to the blue line. Little give and go, but now here comes Tech. 2-on-1 the other way, up over the line. Smith, he throws one towards the net, and it's deflected up into the safety netting. Boy, here we go end to end. He had Diner to his left. He hit the one-timer and deflected out of play.
Yeah, Smith again with Diner on the left side. Georgia Tech did a good job of taking away the passing lane. That was Patrick, number 7 in blue. made Smith make the shot. And I think, Lou, that might have drawn iron as well. Although I said Cernich got a piece of it as he covers this one up off the draw.
17:35 to go in the second period. 4-2 in favor of George Mason, but we've had some end-to-end action in this first 2.5 minutes of the second period. Off the face-off, a centering pass deflects out into the neutral zone area. Played there back on the red line and now dumped into the George Mason zone, or the Georgia Tech zone. Smith goes after the long rebound. It's deflected back into the center ice area, so Mason has to touch up onside. Puck thrown into the Georgia Tech zone. Schultz will take it. He cross-ice passes it over to Risley. They dump it in behind the zone. They look to get a little bit of a rush now in behind the goal. They skate it around a centering play. It's loose at the doorstep, a backhand. That's deflected wide. And here comes Mason. They whiff on a potential pass out the center ice. Smith was trying to bird dog one into the zone. Instead, it's rolled back into the George Mason area. We're down now to 16:45 to go. Second period of 4-2 hockey game. Diner with a nifty move to lead the rush. He's got Smith at center ice. Also a pass over to Helfeld. Helfeld to Smith. Smith with a centering pass. Deflected out the center ice. Here comes Georgia Tech. They skated out of the zone. 3-on-2 the other way. Up over the line with the puck. They come in on goal. Schultz has it. Tries a little dipsy-do pass over to Holt. Holt over on the left side. Skates it in behind the goal. He's hounded. He tried a centering pass. Capping in front of the net is Lubin. Now here comes George Mason with the puck. They try to clear it out of the zone. Little tie-up right in front of the Yellow Jacket zone. They are bench rather. Now at the center ice, here comes Smith. Smith tries to make a play on it, and he shoots it, and it's deflected away by Cernich, and they'll regroup back in the Georgia Tech zone.
Matt Smith has had 3 or 4 consistent shifts here as Georgia Tech comes back into the zone.
Very impressed so far in this opening 5 minutes with the zip of Georgia Tech. They got that goal, and all of a sudden they got a little extra pep in their step as they're trying to give it to George Mason here in this second period. Here's a play up over the line, but stolen away, and also almost another opportunity for D'Agostino as we've got 15:20 to go in this third period. Puck played out at center ice, now backtracked into the Patriot zone as a little pass lifted to Leitzel. It's played over in the left corner. They dig away at it over in the corner, chopping after it, looking for possession of the puck as we're just about 5 minutes gone. Leitzel throws it over to the right side. Georgia Tech right there, but it's held in at the blue line with a shot. That's deflected over in the corner. They tip it over on the left side. They dig away at it, going after it. Ryan for George Mason also playing it as Wallace. They dump it now to the blue line. Here comes a rush for Georgia Tech. Leon, he tried a centering play over to Gavin. It's played in behind the goal. There's a pass that was almost centered in front of the net. Puck still loose over deep in the Mason zone. It's lifted now out to center ice. Playing it right there is Gross. He's dumped off the puck. Ooh, a lead pass a little too strong. They almost had numbers again. Lincoln parks himself in front of the goal. They dig away at it over on the right side. There's another centering play. A one-time shot. Deflected right out in front. And Georgia Tech can't come up with it. They play it over on the left side. Held in now, and it rolls back out to center ice. Just about 6 minutes gone. 4-2, George Mason.
Man, is this the same Georgia Tech team from the first period? Because they have come out flying. Good puck pressure in below the goal line. Here it is again, trying to create some opportunities down low, back up high.
Boy, I'll tell you what, this ice is definitely tilted on the George Mason end. Puck played in behind the goal. They skated around looking to set another centering pass up. It's played over on the right side with the puck over there is Brzezowski. Over on the left side, center play on top. There's a shot. Whistling up over the top of the goal. Long rebound. The Yellow Jackets come up with it. They play it over on the left face-off circle. Oh, up centering play. A little too strong for Jones. He throws it towards the goal. Lincoln has it. Plays it in behind the net. No, they try to set one up out in front. Parked on each side of the goal were the Yellow Jackets. But here comes Mason now. 2-on-2 the other way. Throwing in behind the goal that time as Gross tried to play it in behind. We get a couple of fresh legs on each side. They dig away at it over on the left side. Now they play it in behind the goal. Going after it is Gross. Centering play over on the right side instead. Here comes Mason. 13:55 to go. There's a shot. There's a rebound, and they score! Trevor Mack got the rebound on the left side of the goal, and it's now 5-2 in favor of George Mason.
Yeah, Nash was the one that took the shot. It just went off the end boards, right off the end boards to Trevor Mack for his second of the day. Just when you think Georgia Tech had some momentum coming back the other way, George Mason answers with their first goal to second period.
5-2 now, back to a 3-goal lead off the faceoff. Diner looks to set. Miller with that play. Oh, and a good save by Cernich. He kept it a 3-goal game right off the faceoff, 2-on-1 the other way. And Miller shakes his head because he thought he had that hat trick midway through the second period. Defensive faceoff won by the Yellow Jackets. They try to clear the zone. Held in at the point, though, by Nash. They throw one towards the goal. Oh, looking maybe for a bird dog on the other end was Polak. Instead, the play is deflected, and we get a stoppage. 12:35 to go, second period. We've got a 5-2 hockey game in favor of George Mason.
Face-off coming back out to neutral ice. Face-off for George Mason is Colin Henley.
Off the face-off, it's controlled by the Patriots. Miller one-hands it into the zone, plays it over on the left side. He tries to make a play on it. He still skates it around over the right side this time. Now he brings it over to the blue line, plays it over to Baker. Baker on the left face-off circle. Skates it over and it gets his pocket picked. Here comes Mason. He's bounced off the puck, that being Zach Mazowski. Majeski now plays it in behind the goal, and it's stolen away by George Mason in behind their own goal. They go after it. Pass over to Baker. Baker now trying to make a feed to Diner, but a good defensive play by Georgia Tech as Mason doing a little cherry picking all deep in by the blue line. Smith with a shot, whistles wide, rebound is played in behind the Georgia Tech goal. They chop away at it. Here come the Yellow Jackets, but a good play on defense. Oh, a centering play a little too strong for Smith, but coming up with it are the Yellow Jackets. They try to get it out of the zone as George Mason now buzzing with a little extra pep in their step. 11.5 to go in this second period. Playing it in behind the goal. Georgia Tech comes up with it. They're finally able to clear it. I believe they're going to wave off the ice and quickly going after it. Pollock tried to make a play on it. It's loose in behind the goal. Here's an opportunity for the Yellow Jackets. Good move. A centering play almost deflected off the defenseman into the Mason goal. Still loose deep in the George Mason and in the slot area. Georgia Tech holds it in as Smith tried to make a play on it. They still have it in the neutral zone with the puck. There's Leon. Leon brings it in the line. Ooh, there's a big check. There's a one-time opportunity over the stick of Leon. Nifty pass right in front of the goal, and the puck is going to go in behind the net. And down is Miller over on the left side. He gets up now, grabs his stick, and it's played at the point, deflected. Coming in on the line, Miller with a shot deflected. Here comes Miller. Miller looking to cherry pick again. He's calling for it. Now he shows a little frustration and goes off the bench. Here comes Mason. 3-on-2 the other way. Up over the line. Baker comes up with it. Nifty move to come in on goal with a shot. Oh my goodness. Cernich with the save of the game as Baker came in on goal with a nifty move. And we get a stoppage of play. 5-2 George Mason.
Yeah, Smith was the one that got taken down to that corner by Petrick, looking for a penalty, and then he tried to cherry pick at the blue line. They could not get it out to him, showing the frustration. Even though this is really a pride game, like you said, the pregame, Lou, both teams still trying to play really hard to get that victory.
Nobody likes to lose in any competition, and they're showing it here, and that's great. I love that. Playing at center ice, a lead pass, a little too strong for Mazowski. It deflects in behind the George Mason goal. They play it over on the left side. Gross with a pass out to center ice. Here comes Mack up over the line on the right side. Comes in on goal with a shot. Whistles wide. All the way over to Gross on the left side. Plays it over in the corner. Skates it over on the left side again. Tries to get it out on tarp. Harnwell looking for it. Instead, they throw it over to the right side, and it's played on the right face-off circle. There's a shot. Big rebound. Again, another shot. shot taken and deflected wide. They play it out to the blue line. Now played over on the left side. Gross a cross-ice pass over for Ryan. Ryan takes it, tries to throw it towards the net. There's a shot. Oh boy, that time Alex Gross, he had a point-blank opportunity, and Cernich would come up with the save. We're going to take a break for our media timeout. 9:38 to go here in the second period. We've got a 5-2 hockey game in favor of George Mason here on the ACHA D3 Broadcast Network. So you can't put the... A little bit of hijinks here on day 3. Marcus is a little bit slap happy to my right, but that's all right. That's what it's all about.
It's because I'm with you, Lou.
Exactly, man. I'm a party looking for a place to happen. 9:33 to go here in the second period of 5-2 hockey game. George Mason and Georgia Tech. There's a shot from the blue line. Deflected out to center ice. Here come the Yellow Jackets. Up over the line. Holt comes in. Centering play. Oh, a good check that time by the goaltender. Hurtnett to keep it out of the goal. And oh, there's one that was almost again deflected into the goal. Couple of goofy bounces here in the last minute and a half for George Mason, but they're able to keep it a 5-2 hockey game.
Yeah, Holt was the one for Georgia Tech that had some good speed to the front of the net. Dewhurst made the initial poke check away, and then it kind of trickled its way right out in front of the net.
Off the face-off, George Mason will take control of it. They scoot it cross-ice in their own zone. With it over there is Dewhurst. There's a giveaway right out in front, but George Mason able to come back up with the puck. Nice check over in the back area, though, as there's one. It's Georgia Tech really showing that some pep in their step still. Good play to hold the puck in, and they're going to wave off the hand pass here. It's now played to center ice. Nifty move with it their time. Henley tried to make a play on it, or check that, D'Agostino. Puck back out to center ice. Here's a giveaway coming up over the line. Polak, but an even better back check by, oh, there's a one-timer. Oh, action going from end to end here in this second period as they play it deep in the George Mason zone. Puck loose over on the left side. Now they tip it out to center ice. Here comes up over the line Diner. He's got Miller to his right. Diner tried to make a play on it. Miller's shot deflected, and Georgia Tech comes up with it. Puck now played at center ice. Ooh, almost a potential giveaway. Good play that time, though, by the goaltender Hurtnett. They play it up at the point. Here's a lead pass. Here comes Smith. 2-on-2 the other way. Smith in on goal. A little pass. Good poke check, though, by Georgia Tech. Puck back out in the neutral zone. Mason has to touch up. Now they throw it back into the corner. Going after it is Majeski. Majeski plays it around the boards. He tries an outlet pass. It's tipped out at center ice. Coming up with the puck, Rogers. Rogers tries to throw it towards the blue line. Heltfeld takes it at the point. He's bounced off the puck with a big check. Now it's loose in the Georgia Tech end. As they backtrack with the puck, they lift it up and out of play. 7:32 to go, second period. 5-2 in favor of the Patriots.
Yeah, very good back and forth here after Georgia Tech got the early goal. Then George Mason answered just about 6 minutes later with that early goal. But action has gone back and forth this entire period. Again, very good pace. Only 5 penalties total between both teams through 23 minutes.
Puck now played at center ice, backtracking after it is Rogers on defense. He looks to make a play on it, plays it over to the point to Gross. He hands it off over to Mack. Mack in between the rings, coming in on goal. There's a play deflected, but it's held in at the blue line with a shot. Deflected over in the corner. They chop at it in behind the goal. They try to make a play on it, does George Mason. They've got it up at the point. There's a shot again, deflected wide. Lechner took the play. They've got the puck deep in the Georgia Tech end. They skated around, does Gross. Gross right at the blue line. Throws it towards the net. Cernich with the glove save and hangs on with 6:49 to go in the second period. A 5-2 lead for George Mason.
Cernich has had to be very good in net for Georgia Tech, and he really has. Every time he's had a chance to cover up the puck or freeze it, he really has. And you have to give credit to George Mason. They have been really doing a good job of crashing the net and looking for some dirty goals.
Face-off will stay to the right of Zach Cernich, rather. I'm sure Bob would like to lace up the skates again and get out there and play if he could. Puck loose over in the left corner now. They dig away at it in behind the goal. Coming up with it is Schultz. Schultz tries to make a play on it for Georgia Tech. Now they still backtrack with the puck in their own end. They play it over on the right side now out of the zone. Little backhand pass opportunity to Lincoln. Lincoln comes up over the line on the right side. Nifty move to get it over in the corner. He skates it in behind the goal, but Mason is able to come up with it. The Patriots get their pocket pick, though, and finally the puck is rolled over to the right side. Lead pass back out to center ice. Making a play on it there was Drew Wallace, and then he had a nice little check, but coming up over the line the other way, here comes Leitzel. Leitzel with a shot that whistles wide. We're down under 6 minutes to go in the second period of a 5-2 hockey game in favor of Mason. Puck rolls in behind the Tech goal as both teams make some changes on the fly. With the puck at center ice is Lubin. Lubin one hands it up over the line, but a good play on defense by DiAgostino. There's a centering play, a little too strong. They tip it out to center ice. Here comes Smith. 2-on-2 the other way. Comes up center ice. Nice poke check by the Yellow Jackets as it's played in the corner. Bounced off the puck are the Patriots. This one's going to be lifted out to center ice, and it's not going to roll far enough for icing as Harnwah plays it. He plays it over to the blue line. Good speed that time by Polak to come up with it in behind the goal. Camping in front of the net is Lubin. Polak has it, tries to make a centering play. There's an odd-angled shot, and it's going to be covered up by Hurtnet. 5:06 to go here in this second period. Still 5-2, George Mason.
Polak with really good puck control. He was all by himself down low. Lost an edge, almost fell down. Still had the opportunity with a wraparound attempt. And George Mason able to stop that one from going in the back of the cage.
Puck played at center ice and dumped into the George Mason zone, but we're going to get an offsides call. Haven't had too many of those here tonight either, as we're just about at 5 minutes left in this second period.
Still no penalties in this second period too, as well, Lou. So very fast-paced, back-and-forth kind of hockey game. What you like to see here on day 3?
Absolutely. Both teams really showing their speed and, not letting up or not, even thinking about it being day 3 with only pride to play for. Puck played out at center ice. DiAgostino will make the pass. Now he plays it off over to Baker. Baker comes up over the line, tries to make a nifty move over the left side. He's bounced off the puck. Still loose right out in front with a wraparound or a turnaround shot, if you will, by Baker. It's kicked away by Cernich. They play it over on the right side. Digging away at it over there. Centering play, but here comes Georgia Tech. They've got it at the neutral zone. They're just going to dump it down deep into the Mason end as they're going to make a wholesale change. Calling for the cherry pick play was Mack for George Mason. Now he's got Smith 2-on-1 the other way. Mason with a wide open shot. Whistles just wide of the left side of the goal. They chop it out the center ice, trying to make a play on it with Lincoln, but now Miller takes it the other way. Comes up over the line. Backhand pass to Mack. Mack gets his pocket pick. Oh, Georgia Tech almost had a 3-on-1. There's a centering play to Gross. Nifty move by Gross, but he loses control right at the last second. There's a shot. Oh, they They've got Cernich on his backside with his back towards the goal, but they couldn't capitalize. There's a centering pass to Mack, and he scores! Trevor Mack puts it in behind the goaltender Cernich, and it's 6-2 in favor of Mason. Time of the goal, 16:20.
Smith, Mack, all those guys on the front end. Zagatti, this line has been rolling today. Finally, Mack able to put it in the back of the net as it was just helter-skelter as Cernich was on his back. Lots of traffic, and the hat trick for Mack gets it a 6-2 lead.
Well, Marcus, you and I talked about it at the beginning or in between periods. The last 4 games that we've done, we've had at least one 3-goal scorer, and not to be denied again. Here we go with another one and a potential for another one. There's a centering pass by Georgia Tech that got stolen away. Coming up quickly with it, Helfeld dumps it over in the corner. Under 3.5 to go in the period. There's a centering play, but nobody home. They hold it in at the blue line. Rogers bounced off the puck. Here comes Georgia Tech now. They one-handed out to center ice. Petrick has it. He plays it over in the corner, and it goes in behind the goal. Going after it for a moment was Gavin. They play it over on the right side. Now it's played out into the neutral zone, and Georgia Tech will dump it back into the Mason goal as they make some changes. 2:50 to go here in this second period to get a 6-2 hockey game. Quickly, Helfeld comes up with it, throws it in towards the goal. Skating after it was Leitzel, and he was also going after it with Mazuski from Georgia Tech. There's one thrown towards the goal that's deflected over in the corner. They roll it around the boards. Harnwa will wait for it at the blue line, and he plays it over on the left side. Gross now plays it cross ice, intended for Lechner. Lechner has it, centering play deflected. Gross with a shot right into the bread basket of Cernich, and he'll hang on. 2 minutes and 21 seconds left in the second period. Georgia Tech George Mason with a commanding 6-2 lead.
We'll have to double check, but I believe Alex Gross is the Alex Gross that played for Calvin College the last 4 years for Division III in the MCHC. He's a graduate student listed here on George Mason. I'll get that confirmed, but this is a gentleman that has a lot of good pedigree in the ACHA, knows how and what it takes to win.
Definitely, and I gotta believe you're right, Marcus. He's got the same frame. We were talking about it that we noticed when he played in his days in the MCHC at Calvin. Puck loose deep in the George Mason zone. They go at it over there in the corner. Finally thrown down off the puck, but coming back up was Holt. Holt tries to make a play on it. He hands it off over to Polak. Polak to hold in behind the goal, looking for a centering play, but nobody home. Held in at the blue line though by the Yellow Jackets. They dump it over in the corner, playing it over there. Harnwa tries to make a play on defense. It's deep in the Georgia Tech or George Mason zone still. Georgia Tech comes up with it as they go on the left face-off circle with a shot that whistles wide. We're down to 1.5 minutes left in the period. Thrown in behind the Mason goal. They go after it back there. Holt tries to make a play on it. It's loose at the doorstep, and they score! Joey Schultz gets the rebound play, and with 1:20 to go in the period, we've got a 6-3 lead now in favor of the Patriots. Never say die attitude by the Yellow Jackets, and they were able to capitalize on that one. A good play by Holt. He didn't give up, and he found Joey Schultz right in front of the net, and he threw it past the goaltender Hartnett, and it's now 6-3 as we're down to about a minute to go. And there's a puck that rolls out to center ice. They're going to have to go back after it. Baker now backtracks after it. Georgia Tech with a little pep in their step in this last minute. Oh, a collision right in front of us at center ice. Now they play it at the blue line. Nash with a centering pass to Miller. Miller up over the line in traffic. Wheels around. There's a give and go. DiAgostino tries to make a backhand play. 45 seconds left. And now Baker goes there. Diner rather goes after it in behind the goal. They chop away at it with 35 seconds left. Oh, a big check over in the corner. They chop over there. Another big check. Diner trying to make a play on it, but Georgia Tech is not going to let him try, and it's played held in at the point by Baker. Now it's deflected. Baker has to get control of it. Here comes Lincoln. Lincoln now passes it on. They try to centering play, and we're going to get a whistle and a stoppage of play. And we get some pushing and shoving, face to face, nose to nose. Nash and Risley over on the left face-off circle in the George Mason end. And we'll see if we get any penalties called. We got some yakking going on as it looks like Andrew Nash is not to be intimidated. The referees are holding him back. We haven't had a penalty called yet. Now we do. DiAgostino will get the penalty call on a collision at center ice. So Georgia Tech will get the power play for the last 18 seconds of this second period, and then they'll start off with the extra man in the third period. Face-off now deep in the George Mason end, but it's going to be cleared out of the zone. We're down to 10 seconds left in the period as Cernich will hand it off. Actually, he'll just roll it around the boards out to center ice. Got to be careful here. You don't want to give something away with down to 5 seconds left. And that's going to do it. We've got 40 minutes in the books. A high-flying second period. These two teams do not want to go away quietly. We've got a 6-3 lead for the George Mason Patriots after 40 minutes of play. Second period goals. Georgia Tech got it started right out of the chute, 43 seconds in, as Jacob Rankin made the goal. And then right after that, it was at 7 minutes, a full-strength goal by Trevor Mack, his second, and then he followed that up with his hat-trick goal at 16:12, and then at 18:40, it was another goal. We'll be right there with that Georgia Tech goal. But right now, let's go to Marcus Grosnick with head coach Morgan Munisa of George Mason.
All right, we're here with head coach of George Mason, Morgan Munisa. And coach, 6-3 lead after 40 minutes of play. What have you liked out of your team in that time?
Well, I liked the first period, that's for sure. What I didn't like is us coming out and sleepwalking through the first 8 minutes, resting on our laurels, kind of expecting past success as future success. You definitely, we have to remember how hard we worked in the first period to, carry that momentum forward. What I have liked is our ability to get behind their defensemen and stretch it out.
Well, Coach, it's a week that didn't turn out the way you guys liked it, but you played really well in regionals. You make it to nationals. What does this trip for your team mean going forward in the next couple seasons?
It's huge. I mean, in all aspects of the program, building, recruiting, everything, the legitimacy that finally making it to the nationals has brought the program. This is something we've been working for countless years. I've been with the program for 7 years now, so this is huge. Good validation.
Awesome, Coach. Well, congrats to making it to nationals. Good luck in the last 20, and good luck in the seasons coming up.
Thank you.
All right, Lou, back up to you.
All right, thank you, Marcus. 40 minutes in the books. Again, that last goal scored at 18:40 was scored by number 5, that being Joey Schultz, and that made it 6-3 as we're through 40 minutes of play. When we come back, Georgia Tech will be with the extra man for about 1:45. 6-3 our score after 40. George Mason on top of Georgia Tech. You are watching ACHA Division III National Tournament Hockey on the ACHA Tournament Network. All right, welcome back. 40 minutes in the books here in this day 3 of the 2018 ACHA Division III National Tournament. Final day of pool play, and these two teams now 20 minutes left in their season here this afternoon, as we've got George Mason on top 6-3 over Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech will get the first, I believe, minute and 48 of this third period on the power play, Marcus. And what do you expect out of this last 20 minutes for these two teams here this afternoon?
You know, I expect still a lot of good pace to the third period. Both teams looking for some good opportunities. Let's see if George Mason can kill off this last 140.
Here we go off the face-off. Mason will dump it down in the Georgia Tech zone as both teams switch sides. As we get this third period on and underway, with the puck over back in the zone is Jones. Jones now will play a lead pass over to Risley. Risley now skates it up into the zone with a shot. A long rebound. Unfortunately, Brzezowski wasn't quite there in time, but he gets it over in the corner. A minute 15 left in the power play. There's one that whistles up over the top of the goal. And now Mason comes up with it. Potential giveaway. Now it's just a one-on-one rush back to the blue line. And now here comes Georgia Tech. They dump it, or actually a drop pass. There's one. An on-rushing play almost in front of the goal. But coming up with that puck is Pollock. Pollock tries to throw one towards the net. It's deflected. Over on the right side now a centering play. And it's going to be skated in the slot area. Now Georgia Tech comes up with it. 45 seconds left in the power play. They dump it over in the corner to set it up. Over there Risley has it in behind the net. He gets deflected. Wraparound try. Deflected. It's still loose out in between the rings. And it's going to be lifted out to center ice. 30 seconds left in the power play.
Good penalty kill start for the George Mason Patriots. Good puck pursuit in between the face-off dots in their own zone. Georgia Tech trying to get it in deep.
Up over the line with a centering pass. A little too strong as they play it over in the corner. Played now in behind the goal going after Petrick. Petrick tried to make a play on it. It's loose on the right face-off circle with a play. Deflected in behind the goal. Over there now Leon has it. He's got it over on the left face-off circle. Centering pass, and they score! Right after the power play expires, it's going to be Tom Petrick with the goal. And Georgia Tech is within 2, 6-4. Time of the goal is 1 minute and 43 seconds.
You know, Lou, I think it's actually going to be Govan, number 4, that got the goal. Petrick was the one that set him up right out in front, waited for that 5-hole to open up, and it's a 2-goal lead here to start the third.
1:43 the time of the goal, as we've got now a 6-4 hockey game. Georgia Tech clawing their way back in. Never say die. Let's see if they can capitalize on the momentum. Again, time of the goal, 1:43. Face-off is controlled by the Patriots. Indeed it is. Govan, thanks Marcus, gets credit for the goal. Up over the line, Mack plays it. Little feed over right in front. Zagat with a play. And it's a goal, and then they both collide into the crease or into the net. They're going to count it. Tarek Zagat, just like that. 14 seconds after the goal, and we've got the goaltender down. That's Cernic. He's going to get up awful slow. They're calling for someone to help in the crease area, and it's now 7-4 in favor of George Mason.
Zagat was the one that drove hard to the net. Cernic just got absolutely bowled over after he gave up the play. And he is back to his feet. Let's see if he stays in the game or if they look to go to the backup.
Looks like he's nodding his head okay. They brought the trainer out, and they're going to, looks like they're going to walk him over to the sideline area, and I think that's going to be it for him this afternoon. Indeed it is. We're going to get a new goaltender. Yeah, he took kind of a vicious collision that time as Zagat, as you mentioned, came in on goal, was able to get it past Cernic, and then the collision put them both in the net. The goal will count, and we've got a 6-4 lead, I believe. Or rather 7-4,
yeah.
And the referees are huddled over here by the right face-off circle in the Georgia Tech end.
Are they going to try to see if there might be a penalty on the play?
Yeah, they're discussing it over here right in front of us. It was kind of a bang-bang play, and he went right in headstrong into the goal. And we're going to get a discussion over there, and we'll see if the goal stands. They come over to the official score area, then they're going to talk to, looks like, to the captains to let them know what the play is. It looks like we're going to get a 4-minute penalty coming up, I believe.
Let's see here.
They've got one of the captains put up four fingers over to Georgia Tech, so I'd just be guessing. 18 seconds after the Georgia Tech goal, the goal is going to stand 7-4 in favor of Georgia Tech. The Mason goal by Tarek Zagade will count.
And he's going to go to the box as well, Lou.
So, okay, just 2 minutes instead. So we got it half right. They got a penalty, but only 2 minutes on that one. So Georgia Tech will come up with a power play here after the goal. So in net now for Georgia Tech will be number 30, Caleb Rudnicki, the junior goaltender out of Norcross, Georgia. Mason comes up with it now at center ice, and they play it into the neutral zone area. Georgia Tech comes up with it. They play it over the line. Brzezowski, he gets bounced off the puck over in the corner. Baker has it over on the left face-off circle. They dig away at it over there, still fighting for it. Georgia Tech with a minute and a half left on the power play with a one-timer. Almost handcuffed Hurtnet over there, but now the play is loose deep in the George Mason end. Georgia Tech has it up at the point. They have it over on the right side. They skate it over there. Now on the left face-off circle with a shot. Kicked away over in the corner. Going to be played by Jones. Jones dumps it back towards the corner. Georgia Tech with a one-timer. Deflected wide of the goal. 1:05 left in the power play. They skated out on top now. Drop pass over to Jones. Plays it over in the corner. Back out on top over the right side. Almost a one-time opportunity. Not able to come up with it. Brzezowski has it. Now there's one who's right out in front. And it's going to be kicked away and finally thrown down the other end. And we get a stoppage of play again. Some pushing and shoving right in front of the goal. I was watching the puck go the other way. It was cleared, but we get a whistle. 45 seconds left in the power play. 16:49 to go here in regulation time. We've got a 7-4 George Mason lead.
Yeah, Risley got his helmet taken off, so that's why the whistle stopped. He was battling down low with Gross, who is actually not from Calvin, but he was the gentleman that played with Iowa State last year when they were here at the national tournament. So familiar face to the league.
Face-off will stay deep in the George Mason end, but we've got a discussion again out at center ice deciding where to bring the puck, and instead they're going to bring the face-off outside the George Mason zone. So a break for the Patriots. Taking the face-off will be Gavin. He'll take it alongside Kevin Diner for George Mason. And face-off won by George Mason. Now they're able to clear the zone, dump it down into the Georgia Tech end. 39 seconds left in the power play. 16:35 to go in regulation time. A 7-4 hockey game. Here's a feed up over the line, Leon. Leon has it. Drops it off in the slot. Trying to make a play on it was Gavin. Now coming up with a Diner the other way. He brings it up short-handed. Nifty move on the back check, though, by Georgia Tech to play it deep in their own zone to try to set up the power play with one more rush. 15 seconds left in the power play with it out at center ice is Leon. Leon has it up over the blue line. Stops, tries to make a cross-ice pass. He does finally right over on the right side. With it over there is Pollock. Pollock tries to throw it in behind the net. It's now played over on the left side in the face-off circle area. Thrown towards the goal. Kicked away over in the corner. They chop at it over there. Finally still with it. Georgia Tech with a shot. Kicked away by Hartnett. That was taken by Leon. Puck loose still out at center ice. They kick it back to the defenseman for Georgia Tech, and they look to regroup with 15:40 to go in the third period. Up over the line, Petrick has it. He gets his pocket pick, though, as they skated in behind the goal. Mack tried to make a play on it. Now it's played over there to Hellfeld. Hellfeld throws it over the left side. Diner tried to lead the next rush for George Mason, but the puck was stolen away by the Yellow Jackets. Coming up over the left side, check that, Holt bounced off the puck. It rolls over now to Pollock. Pollock has it on the right face-off circle with a shot that whistles wide.
Penalty coming up to George Mason.
We're going to get another penalty against Mason now. Georgia Tech, the goaltender, will leave for the extra attacker. Rudnicki goes to the bench. Here comes Tech. Tech now tries to get something going with the extra man. Delayed penalty coming up. They're going to bring it up over the line now. They get it in the zone, and we get a whistle. I believe offsides was the call. That'll negate the delayed penalty, but instead give the penalty call coming up to George Mason. So Tech with another power play opportunity, trailing 7-4.
Yeah, the penalty is going to be on number 21, David Leitzel, 2 minutes for roughing. So let's see what kind of momentum Georgia Tech can get from this and get it back to within 2 here with 14:52 left.
Things getting a little bit chippy as well between these two teams. They both really want this game, and right now a 7-4 lead. Georgia Tech will try to get one more to get that momentum back. There's one deflected as they tried to throw it towards the goal, but a good play on defense by George Mason. Hornwa takes it down and throws it to the other end of the ice, and Georgia Tech now will make a play on it deep in their own zone. DiAgostino has it with a shorthanded try. Now his pocket's picked. Here come the Yellow Jackets. They skated up to center ice over the red line, dump it in behind the goal. They run over in the corner after it. Brzozowski has it. Brzozowski tries to make a play on it. Instead, now coming up with it is Risley. Risley with a cross-ice pass now. Pollock has it. Pollock in behind the goal. He tries to make a play on it. He's bounced off the puck by Harnwa. Still, the Yellow Jackets have control with 1:10 to go in the third period. They throw this one cross-ice again as Diner tries to make a play on it. And here comes Georgia Tech back up over the line. Risley is bounced off the puck. It's played over in the corner. A centering play a little too strong. Still held in, though, by the Yellow Jackets. Over on the right side, Jones throws it towards the goal. And now it's deflected and it rolls a little bit into the Georgia Tech zone with 45 seconds left. Quickly back in. Bounced off the puck was Brzozowski. A huge check by Cameron Smith. Now they play it deep in the Tech end, and the Yellow Jackets will regroup with 35 seconds left in the power play.
Yeah, some good pressure by Georgia Tech. Think they might have gotten away with the hook there in that far left wing or far right wing corner. Fans were looking for it, didn't get called. George Mason has control.
Cameron Smith will take the puck deep in his own zone, and he dumps it back out to center ice. Going back after it is Muller. Muller with a cross-ice pass. Plays it over to Wallace. Wallace now gets it off over to Leon. Leon up over the line over to Gavin. Gavin over on the left side. Drop pass coming up over to Petrick. Petrick tries to make a play on it. It's loose right out in front. Oh, they couldn't come up with a rebound. Instead, Petrick has it over on the right face-off circle. Dumps it over in the corner, but a steal and an outlet pass. Here comes Georgia Tech. Lead pass Smith, and he was in offsides. Tried to go in all alone, but instead the face-off after the penalty is expired will come just outside the Georgia Tech blue line.
Face-off should come outside the line. Mac looking to see what kind of personnel they want out there, as the top line is going to come over the boards. Gross, big left winger. Zagatti, who just got the goal, and O'Keefe on the right wing.
Zagad will take the face-off for George Mason as he will go up against Lincoln. Lincoln wins it for Georgia Tech. They played at the red line. Going after it was Lubin. Lubin hands it off. He brings it over. There's a shot that whistles wide of the goal. Held in at the blue line by Majeski. He throws it in. Oh, there was a centering play. That was just wide of the goal. Held in by Majeski at the point. He throws it towards the corner, but now here comes Mason. Lead pass. Here comes Gross up over the line. He's got O'Keefe charging towards the goal, but a good back check that time by Schultz. Schultz has it over on the left side. They play it deep in the corner now. Going after it is Gross. Gross tries to throw it towards the goal. Deflected out to the point. There's one thrown towards the net. That's deflected. Outlet pass now. Here comes Holt. Holt dumps it in the corner as Georgia Tech will look to make some changes on the fly. 11:55 to go in regulation time. 7-4 in favor of George Mason. There's a loose puck in front of the Patriot goal. Outlet pass deflects off the skate of Baker. It goes down into the Georgia Tech end. Now back out to center ice. Nash plays one into the Georgia Tech zone, and we get a whistle, and we're going to get a penalty call coming up. It looks like it's going to come up to Carl Risley on that check right in front of us at center ice.
Yeah, he took a run at Nash. It's going to be a roughing call on Risley just a little bit late, I think, after the puck had already moved away from his stick. So, 2-minute penalty. George Mason's turn. They have not had a power play since the 10:16 mark of the first period.
Face-off will be to the right of Rudnicki, who is in relief of Zach Cernich, who took a nasty spill after that. He was run into by Zagad after the 7th goal of the afternoon for George Mason. Mason on the power play as they now set it up into the neutral zone. Coming up over the line is Mack. Mack with 3 goals here this afternoon. Plays it on the left face-off circle, and he drops the pass off out on top. Now Baker, a little give and go over there with Gross. It's right out in front. Miller with a shot. Deflected wide. Right out in front. It's going to be cleared, and now it goes out to center ice. 1:25 to go in the power play. We've got 10:55 left in regulation time. Skating with it now is Gross. Gross comes up over the line on the right side at the blue line. Nifty move, but a good poke check by Georgia Tech, but it's still deep in the Yellow Jacket zone. Feed in behind the net. Mack has it. Mack trying to set it up as he's got looks like Ryan parked right in front of the goal. Left face-off circle now. Out on top with it is Baker. Baker throws a shot that's deflected, and a good play by Georgia Tech, but they can't get it out of the zone. There's a little pass over the left side. Miller calling for it on top. With it now is Mack with a shot. It's loose right out in front. Still loose on the right side, and an attempted centering pass is still deflected in behind the goal. They chop away at it back there. Ryan is going after it along with Shutt. They're trying to make They're trying to make a play on it in behind the goal, and it's loose over in the corner, and we're going to get a whistle. We're going to get a penalty call coming up to Georgia Tech, it looks like, as we've got 9:58 to go in regulation time. 7-4 in favor of George Mason.
Yeah, I didn't see what is a skirmish down in the right wing corners. I think it might be a cross check or a interference call. George Mason trying to convert here. 25 seconds of a 5-on-3 as the penalty is going to be on Kevin Pollock.
So it's going to be a 5-on-3 instead now for about 25 seconds. Mason with a golden opportunity to extend their lead. Schutz will get the penalty as he'll take a seat in the penalty box as we've got 9:47 to go here in regulation time. Baker comes up with it over the line. He drops it off over to Gross. Gross over on the left side. Plays it back out on top over to Baker. Actually, he still keeps the puck. Thought about it over to Baker. Cross ice to Smith. Smith with a one-timer. Deflected up into the safety netting and out of play. 1:29 left now in the 5-on-4 as George Mason hanging on to a 7-4 lead.
Yeah, Smith has been one of those type of players today where it's been shoot first, pass later. I think if he would have had his head up, Baker would have had a pretty good shot from in between the face-off circles. Big number 19, the captain of the Patriots, as Mack and Ryan switch sides.
Mack will take the face-off to the right or to the left of Rudnicki. It's won by Georgia Tech, but they can't get it out of the zone. Finally they do, and they clear it down into the Patriot end with 1:20 left in the power play. Smith quickly brings it up over the line. He tries to go in on goal. He's bounced off the puck momentarily. Instead, it's back to Mack. Mack has it at the point. There's a one-time shot by Baker that's deflected, and the puck will roll all the way down into the George Mason end with now 1 minute left in the power play. 8:55 to go here in regulation time.
Puck is down deep in George Mason's zone. That has not happened a lot in this period. The tilted play has gone down toward the Yellow Jackets. Let's see what they can do to kind of negate that and get it going back the other way.
Mack drops it back to Miller, but he's bounced off the puck. He's got to go retrieve it at center ice, but a nifty move by Smith. Smith has it now in the corner. A centering pass for Ryan, a little too strong. Mack gets it back at the point. Oh, they wanted it one time. Miller wanted the throw play right in on the right side of the goal, and we get a whistle and a stoppage of play. 8:25 to go here in this third period. 7-4, still George Mason on top.
George Mason with a lot of good pressure. Smith on that weak side, tapping a stick on the ice, but a better play out in front by Zach Goffin to take away that passing lane. Otherwise, I think Smith would have had a pretty good look at that right side of the cage.
We're going to get, I think we're going to get our, or actually it's going to be brought out just outside the blue line. I'm sorry. I forgot we still have a 5-on-4. We'll wait for the even strength before we get our media timeout. Lechner has it now up over the line. He dumps it into corners. He's bounced off by Goffin. They play it back there, going after it in behind the goal. Georgia Tech trying to make a play on it, but Mason now gets control on the left side. The Patriots bring it out on top. Harnois has it. He throws one in. That's deflected. Rebound. Pocket picked as Diner went. There's Harnois with a shot. And this one's going to roll all the way down to the Mason end now as both teams are at full strength. Diner takes the outlet up over the line, tries to skate it over on the right side. Drop pass for D'Agostino. Here comes Georgia Tech. They got an odd man rush now, 3-on-1. Pass a little too strong for Risley. Risley with a centering play that's deflected. Good play by Harnois to make the defensive stand. Still the play is deep in the George Mason end. The Yellow Jackets, a cross-ice pass over to Jones. Jones, he tries a centering pass to Lincoln, but it's a little too strong. Over there, Brzozowski has it. His pocket is picked. Harnois lifts a pass out to center ice, but it's stolen away by Jones. He dumps it over in the corner. 7:17 to go in this third period of a 7-4 game. Puck loose in behind the net. They roll it now. Centering play. A little too strong. Still played in behind the goal. Now they dump it over to the left side. With the puck over there is Brzozowski. Brzozowski, he tried a centering play a little too strong. Instead, it's over to the right side to Jones. Jones dumps it back in the corner. Now he gets it back. Throws one towards the net. That's deflected. Mason has it now. They try to center it out. Here comes Letzel. Letzel now gets it up over the line on the right side. He loses control of the puck. Played back out on center ice. 2-on-2 the other way up over the line. Brzozowski. He tries to make a play on it. His centering play goes all the way over to the left side. Puck instead is rolled in behind the Mason goal. 6:35 to go in the third period. 7-4 our score. Mason now just directing traffic as they try to get their next opportunity. Good play. Nice skating with the puck now by Baker. He tries going coast to coast. Drop pass for Headley. He couldn't make a play on it. 2-on-2 the other way. Up over the line with it is Petrick. Petrick dumps it up over in the corner. He throws it up over the left side. He still digs away at it. Puck in behind the net. A centering opportunity is what Georgia Tech is looking for. It rolls all the way out to the point. Muller tries to make a play on it. Throws it up over in the corner. 5:57 to go in this third period. Over in the corner after it from George Mason is Dewhurst. Cross-ice pass. Outlet to Letzel. Letzel has it now. We've got 3-on-3 the other way as Mason will make some changes on the go.
Mason has done a good job of clearing some pucks out. Georgia Tech's had some good momentum coming back their other way, capitalizing on some misplayed pucks at their own blue line by George Mason.
Here comes Baker over the line with a backhand play. Turnaround pass right on in front. A lot of commotion out there right now. Another opportunity, and it slid wide of the goal. O'Keefe with an opportunity that time. They play it over in the corner now. We're down to 5:20 to go in the third period, and coming up with the loose puck is Leon, and we get a whistle and a stoppage of play. Miller now took exception to that hit. He got up a little bit aggravated, and he went after him as we get 5:16 to go. Still yet to have our media timeout. We'll see if we get that. Indeed we do. 5:16 to go, regulation time. 7-4 hockey game. George Mason on top. We'll be right back. After the media timeout, we've got 5:16 to go in this third period. Marcus 7-4, and George Mason with another power play opportunity.
Yeah, it was 2 minutes for roughing on Patrick Muller. Time of that penalty, 14:44 of the third.
Oh, here we go with an opportunity for Georgia Tech, shorthanded, coming up over the zone. They bring it in behind the net. There's a centering play, and they score! Carl Risley is the recipient of a beautiful end-to-end play from Kevin Pollock, and we've got a 7-5 game. 4:59 to go in regulation time. George Mason maybe a little lazily playing that face-off, and the Yellow Jackets took advantage.
Yeah, they sure did. It was just a giveaway right in front of their own cage. Risley's been boarded a couple times with a couple good opportunities. Has 2 goals tonight and gets his team to within 2.
Well, let's see how Georgia Tech they react to this, because now they're down 2. They still have 1:35 shorthanded. We'll see what George Mason can do. Lechner has it, plays it over to Diner. Diner at the blue line, plays it up over the line, then good play by Georgia Tech to clear the zone, and it rolls down into the Patriot end with 1:20 to go. In the power play, 4:35 to go in regulation time. Quickly up over the line, D'Agostino comes up over in between the rings with a shot that whistles wide of the goal. Puck's going to be played out to center ice. Watch out, here comes Georgia Tech trying to make a play on it. Oh, almost an opportunity for Pollock. He loses his stick, and the referee's no call. Puck plays the other way up over the line. D'Agostino comes up with it. He's got it over on the left side, on top to right side rather to Diner. Back to D'Agostino. D'Agostino rolls with the puck in behind the goal. Lechner trying to get position in front of the net. They play it over on the left side. On top, Zagad has it. Over now to Harnois. Harnois throws it towards the net and right into the middle. We're going to get a melee going on now in front of the goal as Rudnicki went after it. We get some pushing and shoving after the whistle. 37 seconds left in the power play. 7-5, George Mason.
Yeah, just a giveaway, a scrum after the play. McJewski just got taken down out in front of the net. Risley came to his defense as Risley's going to sit in the box. So is Jones. D'Agostino's going to go. And Lechner as well. I think at this point they're just throwing guys in for 2s with 3:53 left.
Well, Georgia Tech now with a little bit of spunk left, they've got an opportunity. After they kill this penalty, there will be about 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in regulation time. So if they can snag one here in the next minute or 2, we've got ourselves what could be an excellent finish. They're talking about it now in front of the goal as we take a look at it.
Puck is going to be a center. Let's see where they put this face-off, if it's going to be in which end. Okay, so we're going to get a couple players tossed here.
Looks like D'Agostino's going to get led to the locker room area.
I think Risley looks like he's about to come out too.
Yep. They're talking about it over right in front of the scores table now. Indeed he is. They're going to escort him out as we still have, as I mentioned, 3:53 left in regulation time, 37 seconds left in the power play for George Mason. And it looks like their top line is going to come back out here for this 37-second power play with Mack and Miller, also Ryan. You've got Alex Gross and also Nicholas Baker.
Now we got a timeout here. I think someone's going to take a timeout. And it's going to be Georgia Tech taking the timeout.
Well, we've got 37 seconds left in the power play, as I mentioned. 3:53 left, Marcus, in this game that's picked up a little steam here in the last half of the third period. So an opportunity yet for both sides. This game is far from over. So if you're Georgia Tech, you got to kill the penalty and then try to get that goal to cut it to 1 and then really make things interesting.
Yeah, you really do. You got to find a way to keep yourself in this game. Georgia Tech's had a lot of good spunk. has had a lot of good spunk here in the last couple minutes of this period. Let's see what they can do shorthanded. They already got one shorty. Let's see if they can convert one more, possibly get this thing back to even strength.
Well, if you're Georgia Tech, maybe they can get a good play out of their defenseman out of Queens, New York, Muller, to get things going here, as they might be able to look for somebody that doesn't get the puck very often, if they can disguise that, if you will. If not, you've got George Mason with their top line coming out. On their end, they want to salt this one away right now on the power play. I think if they can get somebody like Miller or Alex Gross to get a one-timer off the face-off, or Baker, that would be huge for them as well. A 2-goal lead for George Mason. 3:53 left to go here in regulation time. The face-off will stay to the left of Rudnicki, as he's in relief of Zach Cernich, who got injured right towards the beginning of the third period, as it looks like they're escorting a couple of extra players off the bench area. And now here comes the play at the point. Smith dumps it up over in the corner. Mack plays it around the boards. The Georgia Tech defenseman loses his stick, and now the play is right out in front. There's a lead pass, and instead a good play by the Yellow Jackets as they roll it down deep into the George Mason zone. 19 seconds left in the power play, and 3:30 to go in regulation time. Up over the line, Mack with it over on the left side. He plays it in behind the goal. Now he skates it. A good poke check again by Georgia Tech. We're down to 5 seconds left in the power play. Centering play deflected. Miller with a shot. Deflected high and out of play. Good play by Drew Wallace on the penalty kill for Georgia Tech.
Yeah, that's actually Smith, 74 in yellow, that took that shot, Lou, for the top of the right face-off circle. He has had one of the best shots in this game. He's had a couple. He has the opening goal, and that's it. Probably could have had 2 or 3 other ones, but good goaltending and better defense by Georgia Tech.
Taking the face-off will be Helfeld for George Mason. He goes up against Leon. There it goes in behind the goal. Now both teams at full strength. We'll keep an eye on Rudnicki, now the goaltender for Georgia Tech. Puck lifted high in the air at center ice. Here come the Yellow Jackets. Feed to Brzezowski. Brzezowski now tries to bring it up over the line. He dumps it over in the right face-off circle. George Mason comes up with it now. 2:55 to go in regulation time. They chop at it. We're going to get a whistle away from the play, and we get a tie-up over there. Gavin and Leitzel, it looks like.
Yeah, Leitzel's going to go to the box. He did not like the way that he took out one of his teammates. That was Baker along that far side. And good for Georgia Tech's Gavin to not let him goad him into another penalty. And George Mason's going to be shorthanded.
Things have definitely gotten a little chippy here, as we mentioned, in this last 6 or 7 minutes. A couple of players from each team escorted over to the locker room, and now the face-off will stay to the left of the goaltender Hartnett. Off the face-off, Georgia Tech tries to come up with it. Here's a shorthanded opportunity for Diner. Diner comes up over the line. He's got Baker with him. He gets bounced off the puck, and the goal comes off its moorings, and we'll get a stoppage of play. 2:39 to go here in regulation time. We've got a 7-5 hockey game in favor of George Mason.
Yeah, Diner and Baker doing a good job of just going really hard to the front of the net. Rudnicki making a good save, holding his own in that blue crease. And it comes off the moorings, face off to the right.
Face-off again will be to his right. Taking the face-off will be Gavin. He'll go up against Helfeld, and it's won by Georgia Tech. They got to try to clear the zone to set up the power play. Here they come. It's going to be 3-on-4 the other way. They try to skate it in the corner. They do, looking to set up the power play opportunity. We're down to 2:25 left in this third period. 7-5 our score. There's one centered right out in front, and they're going to try to hold it in. They do. Good play to hold it in by Muller. Muller plays it over, but now it's going to be floated back down the ice, and it's going to be held on to by Rudnicki as he drops it off. We're down to 1:15 left in the power play. 2:05 to go in regulation time. Skating it up into the neutral zone, avoiding the check, was Gavin. Gavin centering play. There's another one, but nobody home there. It's loose right out in front at the doorstep, and on the ground on all fours, Connor Hartnett. And we get some pushing and shoving again after the whistle. 1:52 to go here in this third period. 1:02 left with the extra man. And we're going to get that empty net to our right as Georgia Tech will pull Rudnicki for the extra attacker.
It's going to stay in the neutral zone, so let's see if they put Rudnicki back. I would think they would.
Bob Zernick looking for an explanation on this. Now he indeed is going to have to get Rudnicki back in the net as we're back to 5-on-5. And now Georgia Tech will control the zone as we're under a minute to go in the power play. Up over the line with it, Leon. Leon still has the puck over on the left side. Comes in on goal, and he scores! Michael Leon dumps the water bottle off the top of the net, and it's a power play goal. And we've got ourselves a one-goal game. 1:40 to go in regulation time. It's 7-6 now in favor of George Mason.
What a snipe by Leon. Just absolutely blows it up on the water bottle. Just got Hartnett down just a tad. Waited for that room to open up. And he's able to go top shelf.
Here we go, 1:40 left in regulation time. And we're going to get a whistle. I think we're going to get a timeout called by George Mason. So, ladies and gentlemen, it was 7-4 with about 5 minutes left to go in the third period. And now all of a sudden, we've got a one-goal game, and it's going to come right down to the wire. 1:40 left now, Marcus. When do you think you might pull Rudnicki for that extra attacker?
Well, they already had him in deep when they had the face-off in the offensive zone, so I think as soon as they get some kind of sustained pressure down in the Patriots' end of the ice, you'd look to have Rudnicki go to the bench for the extra attacker. But what a comeback for Georgia Tech. Down 4-1 at one point, then it was 6-2, then 7-4, and now 7-6.
Well, as we both know, both these teams are not just happy to be here, and they're showing it because they want this one badly. As we mentioned at the top, neither one of these teams wants to go away 0-3. They want to make that ride back to either Georgia Tech down south or up over to George Mason out east a little bit better and with a smile on their face. So both teams now 1:40 away to find out, or maybe extra time. Who knows? The way we've been going with two straight overtime games, we might get that equalizer before we know it. Face-off won by George Mason. They dump it now to the blue line. Gross dumps it over in the corner. Going after it is Diner. Diner tries to make a play on it. He's going to be bounced off the puck. Georgia Tech comes up with it. Let's watch the goaltender. Up over the line, Pollock. Pollock skates over the right side. He's bounced off the puck. Oh, a huge check over there. And it's going to be dumped and held in by George Mason, or Georgia Tech rather. The net is empty to our right. 1:13 left to go in the third period. There's a pass stolen away. Zagad bounces it back. They're just going to clear it the length of the ice. And icing should be the call. No, they're going to wave it off. Oh my goodness. Man, did George Mason get away with one there. Up over the line. Here comes Leon. Leon gets his pocket pick. And the puck's going to roll back to center ice. Up with it is Zagad. Zagad has it and he scores. Zagad scores on the empty net. But I think Georgia Tech has a lot to be upset with that time, as an icing play that wasn't called, but we'll give Zagad credit for the empty net goal.
Bob Cernich is absolutely livid.
I think he has every right to be. As I mentioned, George Mason might have got away with one that time. They're talking about it in front of the scorer's table, but I don't really think there's anything they can do about it. 49.3 seconds left. We've got an 8-6 hockey game. We'll wait. I guess we should wait and see.
Yeah, I'm going to wait and see.
Scoreboard. Yeah. Well, that was pretty evident. Yeah, you can see Bob right on the edge of the bench over there. He's wanting an explanation on that. And
I mean, he was a good 5 feet before the red line.
Oh, at least. And the referees from down south in the Georgia way who paid to get in didn't agree with that call either. But I think they have a legitimate beef on that one. We'll see what they end up calling on this one. As, again, we've got about 50 seconds left to go in regulation time. As of right now, if that empty net goal stands, it'll be 8-6 in favor of George Mason. And that would be Zagad's second goal of the afternoon as well as the period.
So let's see what they talk about. They're all huddled up.
Boy, I know they better, it's bringing out the feistiness for sure here in this third period. The fans, you can't tell me these fans aren't into it. They want to win as well. Nobody likes to lose, but you know, it's we're still getting a discussion in front of the scores table as we've got the look now as we're down to 49.3 seconds. So again, what we're waiting on is it looked like a icing call that wasn't called, yep. And then on the ensuing play, Zagad took the play as they got it at center ice. He made a play into the Georgia Tech zone and scored on the empty net goal. So we're getting a discussion at center ice. I don't know what they would do. Would they put time on the clock? Would they take
the goal away?
Would they take the goal away? I didn't know they had the capability to do that. But hey, you know, it's interest of fair play. I don't know. This is kind of unusual for us here this week, and I don't know what they're going to do. Looks like they might be waving the goal off. All right. We got one of our fellow announcers here, Jared. Jared might have to go down and separate the fans in front of us here. Oh, they're putting time back on the clock. They're going to disallow the goal. Wow. Well, they corrected the call. It was indeed the right call.
And now Morgan Munitza is livid on the George Mason bench.
What? And I can't, this is like, no. Boy, oh boy. Oh, he's hot. You know what? I don't blame him either. This is a crazy scene here. Never seen anything like this. Georgia Tech with the net empty to our right. Face off to the left of Miller. Or check that to Helfeld. Now there's a clear, but not out over on the left face-off circle. We're under a minute to go. They got it out at the point. There's a shot thrown towards the net. Deflected. And now there's a play down the other end. Oh, at the goalpost. Georgia Tech has it now. We're under 45 seconds left to go. There's a play. Zagad shot. Deflected wide. Here we come now out to the blue line. Coming up over the line with Brzezowski. Brzezowski tries to make a centering play. And this one should be called icing. But no, they're going to get to the puck first. And he scores! Alex Gross will get the empty net goal. This one will count. 25 seconds left to go in the period, and it's now 8-6 in favor of George Mason.
24.4, and Gross gets the empty net goal. That one was a true empty net goal.
Yeah, a little bit of a crazy ending here this afternoon for this Georgia Tech George Mason game. They corrected the play. It was the right call. I don't blame the George Mason coaches for being upset. Haven't seen that taken away before like that. But now the empty net goal, which is correct. And now with 15 seconds left, it's now an 8-6 game. Georgia Tech now will try to put one towards the net again. It's skated wide of the goal. Played over there now with 7 seconds left. They chop away at it, and we're going to get some pushing and shoving going on. Let's be careful now that we got some pushing and shoving with 1.5. Frustration on both sides as now they're chopping away at each other, and it looks like they're trying to separate them, but boy, it's boiling over right now. Wow.
Baker, Gross, Ryan, all of them in there. Smith almost jumped off the bench to go into it, and he stopped really quick to get back to the bench.
Well, we're going to have to wait and see how this last 1.5 goes, what's going to happen at the handshake line. We had, oh, look at that. Childs just gave the old, I don't even know if we're going to leave that one go.
We're going to leave that one be.
Yeah, we've got some talk. I wouldn't be surprised if these two teams
Just
don't
leave.
handshake
Yeah.
right now. This is getting ugly awful fast right now. Boy, this is old-time hockey, but not in a good way. This is getting rough here in this last 1.5. We might...
I think they should just let the 1.5 tick off.
I agree. This is getting ugly in a hurry, and we've got to get some sense of order right now, as we've got an 8-6 hockey game right now. Things really getting ugly, and going to the bench to the showers will be Jared Lechner. Already going to the showers for Georgia Tech was Dalton Childs. So what a rough last couple of minutes. A very, very interesting couple of minutes here as things are starting to get out of hand in a hurry. Well, it's too bad, Marcus. Let's hope that they can just finish this up. It was a great start of the game. Both teams really, they wanted to win.
Yeah, that's the right call. Just let the time off the clock.
Yep, that's going to do it here, Marcus, this afternoon. Our final score, 8-6. And, yeah.
Really not much you could say there, Lou, at the end of the game. I mean, it was good. I mean, George Mason had to lead a lot throughout that game. Georgia Tech never gave up, and they were able to crawl their way back to 7-6, and then the empty net goal put the dagger in the back of in the coffin. 8-6.
Well, here we go. Even though we've had kind of a rough finish, they're going to go through the handshake line anyways, it looks like, and this is a good thing. Let's hope this goes on without incident. I think it will. And this is, you want to see this right here. And, it was a very frustrating way to finish for both sides, but George Mason ending up with an 8-6 win, and, it's a good way to see this end.
It is, and for George Mason, you heard it from both coaches in the interviews. They're really proud of where both their programs are at. It's been a good week for both programs to grow them throughout the next couple years with recruiting and getting themselves set up for a consistent run at the national tournament.
Well, that's going to do it again. Our final score here this afternoon is George Mason hanging on to get their victory here tonight over Georgia Tech, 8-6. Both teams played strong, both played spirited, and that's going to do it here for this afternoon's broadcast. Again, our final score: Georgia Tech 8 or George Mason 8, Georgia Tech 6. This reminder, everybody, remember, keep your sticks down, keep your heads up, and as always, keep your minds open. Good night, everybody, and thanks again for joining us here on the ACHA Division III National Broadcast Network.